Today is another day to be thankful for another chance to appreciate the value of being healthy and alive. Another chance to learn how healthy lifestyle can positively impact our health outcomes and quality of life. Good morning mga kapaglaam to another episode of Quality Life, Your Choice. Good morning mga kapaglaom and welcome to our episode where we are about to learn something that can impact our quality of life. Indeed, it is another chance to appreciate being alive. So today mga kapaglaom, we are going to talk about genes and longevity. Since this whole month of May, we are going to talk about longevity, how we can live a longer but healthier life. As we go on, let us take our time to pray. Let's pray. Father in heaven, Lord, we thank you for this opportunity to learn from you as our maker, our master, our creator, and our creator physician. Lord, we thank you for the health message that we will receive today. Thank you for you will use us as your mouthpiece to bring hope to those who are struggling with their health, who are seeking for a better outcome in life. May you use this episode, Lord, that many of us, not just here in the studio, but all those who will watch and listen to this episode will be blessed. Thank you for hearing our prayer in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
So, ang Quality Life, mga kapaglaom, is aired every Tuesday, 10 a.m. So, follow us on Hope Channel Western Visayas on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram accounts for more updates. We're also airing on AWR 360 Western Visayas. And to all of our listeners online, we would like to greet you all. Good morning, Kapaglaom Candida Gallarda. And thank you for watching. Also to Josephine Suegay, also to Kapaglaom Remedios Emen, and also to Kapaglaom Rachel. For a while, nadula ang akong copy. Let me just go back a little bit. There you go. Rachel Guarino del Rosario. And also to Kapaglaom, Ma'am Lenny Molieno Ladrido. Hello, ma'am. Thank you for watching. And also to Merma Trinidad, mga Kapaglaom, thank you for tuning in. We were looking kung may ara ba mga pamangkot, no? But since last episode, why gid ang nagapamangkot? But you can comment down below mga kapaglaom whatever you have learned or you have realized sa aton episode subong, or kung may mga pamangkot ka mo, please comment down below. And together with our guest, we are going to talk and discuss kung ano ang mga sabat sa inyong mga pamangkot sa aton next episode. So don't forget, let's engage sa aton comment section. And for today mga kapaglaom, we are going to talk about genes and longevity. As next week man, ang aton topic will be about longevity and nutrition. And sa last week sa Bulansang May will be about longevity and lifestyle. So once again, let me introduce and please help me welcome our guest, Subong Naaga. And siguro hindi ko na iliwaton pag-introduce since he is not a stranger sa aton programa. He is a retired Health Ministries Director sa CPUC and he is a Doctor of Public Health. Gawork siya Subong as Adventist Community Service Leader sa Hibawan Adventist Church. Please help me welcome Dr. Glenn Maypa. Good morning, Doc Glenn.
Good morning, Kapaglaom Randy, and greetings to our viewers, whether you are here for the first time or a regular. We would like I also would like to greet our donors, our sponsors, our supporters, and to our production team here at Hope TV West Visayas Conference.
Yes, and we welcome everyone, Subong Naaga. Please join us in our discussion to discover more about what is the relationship of our genes to longevity. But we will know more about that, mga kabaglaom, after this message and song.
Why have you chosen me out of millions, your child to be? You know all the wrongs that I've done. Oh, how could you pardon me? Forgive my iniquity. To save me, give Jesus your Son. But Lord, help me be what you want me to be. Your words I will strive to obey. My life I now give, for you I will live and walk by your side all the way. I am amazed to know that a God so great could love me so. He's willing and wanting to bless. His love is so wonderful, His mercy so bountiful. I can't understand it, I confess. But Lord, help me be what you want me to be. Your word I will strive to obey. My life I now give, for you all the way and walk by your side all the way.
Once again, mga kapaglaom, welcome to another episode of Quality Life, Your Choice. Subong naaga, we are going to talk about genes and longevity. Siguro aton mabantayan, no? May trend sa aton pamilya kung ano man ang edad usually,
Yes,
no?
yeah.
Ang limit sa mga kaparyentehan, mga kapamilya.
Yeah.
In my case, Doc, usually sa akong father's side, mga nasa 70s sila, 80s. Medyo longer ang nila lifespan compared sa average lifespan sa Pinoy, no, which is 69 years old.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Well, actually, kapag lang, Randy, you could do a little averaging of that. For example, you add the age of your mom and your dad at their death
Okay.
and divide it by 2.
And that's
your average
my
age.
average.
Yeah.
Hindi ko pa na siya maobra, Doc, since
Yeah.
living pa ako.
Well, of course,
mother.
I did mine. My mom died when she was 85 and my dad was 90.
Wow.
So I'm supposed to live 88 years, something.
Oh.
According to, well, of course, I looked also at my Lola. My Lolo died at the age of almost 90, and my Lola also same age. So if I take my grandparents' age in my dad's side and my dad and my mom, so that's my average.
I see.
Well, anyways, if we study these factors, we will find out if that really
Yeah,
is.
and I think genes is just one factor, di ba, Doc?
Yeah,
na,
it's just one factor.
will contribute to the longevity sa life.
Yeah.
So, what can we learn today, Doc, about genes and how it impacts someone else's longevity sa ila kabuhi?
Well, actually, if you're familiar with this phenomenon of long ears, they say if you have long ears, you'll live longer. Anyways, I looked at the studies here on a hypothesis on longevity and long ears. And according to that article I read is that historically in old Chinese writings, long human ears were associated with wealth and increased survival.
Somehow, it's kind of true, Doc. Because sa akong mga lolo, mga uncles, they have big ears. If you can say, I have quite big ear. How about in your case, Doc? Is that true?
Yeah, I noticed my grandfather. He had very long ears. But the answer is here anyway. Several studies have demonstrated that ear length increases with age. Okay.
Yes, yes.
So, and then here in the second article, ear elongation occurs secondary to chronic mechanical tension on the auricle by the facial fat accumulation or facial adiposity during aging, during postmenopausal transition, as well as medical conditions associated with central obesity. So the question of having a longer life with longer ears is out of
Yeah.
out of context. So that is just more of a what you call this? Maybe a
For us daw, folklore na lang siya sa mga Pilipino.
It falls to being a folklore. Yeah, you're right. Okay. Well, anyway, according to our study for today, I know you're interested to live longer, right? Unless some other of us have probably different concepts on living longer, like the Egyptians. The Egyptians didn't believe in death.
Yeah.
So when a person dies,
They bury.
the bier or the coffin or the room where they're the adjacent
tomb.
room in the tomb has all these utensils like food, their comb, toothbrush,
And even their
everything.
servants, Doc.
Yeah, their servants are also there because
Para hindi daw sila mabudlay sa ila journey
Yeah.
on another
Yes.
life.
they're on their journey to the next to the afterlife, assistants will be with them
Yes.
to feed them and to take care of them. So the question actually today is, how have you ever wondered how long you might live? So genes probably could answer it, but at the end of the study here, we will be able to determine whether what percentage of your longevity could be attributed to genes. Okay, for example, it says here that new research suggests that an important indicator of your probable, now remember, probable lifespan.
Okay.
When we say probable, that means to say, based on current demographic information, Geographic magazine some years ago listed it at 71.2 something. And I think as recently as 2021, it's something like 73 point, something like that. Okay, so those are what we call probable lifespans.
Hindi gid siya definite, Doc, because there are other factors to play, man.
Well, probably I should say if all of these factors were put into a statistical analysis, probably the most prominent factors will come out. Okay, so we could not make a conclusion until we come to the last part of our study.
Okay.
Yeah, so we will just discuss this for a while. It's okay with
Yes,
you, okay?
yes.
So here, let me continue. Scientists have identified unique genetic signatures strongly associated with long and healthy life. Now remember, these geneticists have been studying, I will explain to you later what are genes, DNA genes and chromosomes, which are affected by, which I could say are the ones as discovered by scientists to be the key to how we live longer or shorter. So it says here that these genetic signatures, well, I'm not familiar with a genetic signature, but probably these are some of the characteristics of these genes. I will be mentioning later on what are these genes that are associated with a long and healthy life, findings that would help to further understand how certain genes may offer protection from common age-related diseases like cancer, dementia, and cardiovascular disease. Okay, so these are some things we could consider, and according to this very optimistic article, one day the data might lead to the development of genetic tests to predict whether a person can expect to live to an old age, as well as guide intervention efforts to prevent age-related illnesses. So probably kapag lang, Randy, one of these days you go to a clinic and then they say, you want a genetic test, how long you will live, or will you be prone to Alzheimer's or cancer or cardiovascular disease or whatever, we could give you a test.
I think that can be really possible in the future, though.
Well, right now they are already trying to find out, because this article about the book, which we will discuss in the last part of our discussion at the end of the month about longevity based on lifestyle, because Dan Buettner, the lead author of the Blue Zones, has studied lifestyles of these different countries. So that's where we will be discussing about lifespan based on lifestyle. So here, let's consider this. Next topic, we will be considering nutrition and lifestyle. Okay, so all of these factors actually are are interlapping, because genes are affected by nutrition, affected by lifestyle, and lifestyle is also affected by genes. So all of them play interrelated, because according to this combination of factors, all play prominent roles in longevity. So again, it says here, no single factor could be pointed out as significant from the other factors, because research is ongoing in their respective fields. Information on recent findings are compared to previous data, and this may take time. Determining which factors play significant roles in longevity may be a challenge to pinpoint. Again, let me repeat, no single factor. Well, before I was a fan of the Beatles, and they had this song, When I'm 64. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Probably
you're
not. I think I'm on a different
I'll just-
generation. Doc.
I'll just have 3 lines here. First of all here, losing my hair. Okay, now according to science, when a person gets older, that testosterone levels in his body, I think, goes down. And so hair production is becomes what you call this a rarity, or it could be the cause of thinning hair. So a lot of potions have been discussed. Even Napoleon was discussing, because he had premature balding. Also losing my hair. Second, grandchildren. Okay, I'm proud to say I'm a grandfather. I have 1 grandchild. Okay. And the last one here is a very familiar phrase for all of us who are living together with our spouses. Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64? Okay? So, now, just a few concerns. What's the quality of life for those who are seniors? Is it good? Say, for example, if you're a senior, are you living in adequate facilities? Secondly, are you sustained financially? If your pension is okay with you, okay? And how about your physical self? Are your movements not limited? Is your hearing still okay? Vision, appetite? Or are you hampered by a diagnosis of hypertension or cancer or diabetes? How about your mental? Do you still remember names, places? Do you still remember circumstances? Or maybe classmates, and then when you see them, you're at the tip of my tongue. Your name is at the tip of my tongue. So cognitive decline, forgetfulness, these are concerns for longevity. Okay? So, kapag lang Randy, let's dive deeper into the genes.
Yeah.
Okay? So, let's make it as simple as 101. Okay?
Yeah, because sometimes sa aton mga viewers, Doc, I think talking too much of the technical terms maybe.
Yeah, that's why
jargon sa ila.
That's why it's 101 lang tayo.
Yeah, 101 lang
One,
din.
So this our lecture today on genes is just 101. That means to say is the most basic. So in nursing 101 or medicine 101 or English 101 is the basic. So I'll just give you a little hint, okay? Now our body is made up of trillions of cells. Now when we say trillions, that's one of, and then how many zeros? 100, then 1,000, 100,000, then a million, then a billion, then after that is a trillion, okay? So trillions of cells. Now these are estimates, but I think the scientists are very good in estimates. Now each cell is a copy, okay? Is a copy of a single cell that divided itself to make all the cells in your body. So going back kapag lambit to conception, the egg from the mother and the sperm from the father was fertilized, and then out of that it became a fertilized egg, and out of that fertilized egg, then as the fertilized egg kept on developing, then cells were grown from the different types that our bodies need. Okay, so but it's not only the division, because according to science, our cells need instruction to create who you are.
Yeah.
Okay, so not just random. No, when Christ decided that this sperm cell, out of the half billion, out of the 500 million sperm cells in a single ejaculation, only one will enter the ovum. Only one. So the cells need instructions to create who you really are. Do you look like your father or your mother? or your grandmother. So here are three things that we have to remember. DNA, or deoxyribonucleic acid, genes and chromosomes, work together to tell your body how to form and to function. So remember, growth, form, and function are very significant. So now you get what it means to be in genetics 101. Okay, so let's go to the first. DNA, or deoxyribonucleic acid, is the material that exists in every cell in our body. Now, I don't have a diagram of the cell because there's so many parts of the cell. But this, in our cells, this is the one that holds your genetic code. Now, when we say genetic code, we will come to that later. It makes up your body's instruction manual. So, when we talk about instruction manual, this cell becomes your hair. This cell becomes your ear. This cell becomes your liver. This one becomes your,
So, naka-pre-program na siya.
That's already programmed. Okay, so here, this instruction is very specific. How would you like yourself that your nose is at the back of your head? That will never happen, okay? God is very particular with that. So, there's an instruction manual in this DNA, okay? What are these? Languages written in a code. There are 4 chemical bases. Let's go briefly. A, C, T, and G. Adenine, cytosine, thymine, and guanine. Now, we don't have time to discuss this because they are in the realm of geneticists. But this is the language that only the genes could understand. Now, scientists have deciphered these chemical bases that make up the language of the DNA. Like, for example, if the DNA decides to make your hair, okay, your hair in your head, and the hair on your axilla or your armpit and in other parts of your body are totally different. They all come from formed words. So there are an estimated 3 billion bases in a human body. 99% of those bases are the same in every person. The remaining 1% is what makes you unique. Okay, the last line here says unique. That means to say, even though you have an identical twin, you will still be totally different from your twin. You could look the same, act the same, but you yourself has your own unique characteristic different from your identical twin.
Hindi ka siya like 100%
Yeah.
a copy of your twin.
Yeah, you could not. Well, actually, kapag lang
Otherwise, hindi maka-identify ang mother kung sino ang yung ginpangalanan, di ba?
Yeah.
May uniqueness gin.
Yeah, each one has a unique. That's why it says here that 1% is very significant. That 1% makes you different from all other people created in this world. Okay? So number 2, let's go to the genes. Okay? Genes are the building blocks of your body. Building blocks. What do you mean by building blocks? These genes give instructions to make proteins. And this protein's job is to tell your body what types of physical characteristics you should have, like your hair and your eye color. See? So these building blocks, well, I could not really graphically illustrate it. But it means to say that upon the genes, how you look, well, your skin color, your voice, probably your mannerisms, okay? Some genes codes for RNA, which does other jobs. Okay, we have the genes in a very particular way, because probably when we say genes, like the color of your hair, okay, Prince Harry is a redhead. And according to geneticists, redheads today are disappearing at a very fast rate. You will seldom find redheads.
Why is that, though?
Well, they're trying to find which of these recessive genes are causing the babies born, less of them are redheaded.
So kumbaga mas ang gina-dominate pa sa iba na gene, nga hair color,
Well,
ang
it's
redhead.
possible. Like, for example, the blonde, the brunette, okay, the black. Like us, we have black hair. So I read an article about in the Geographic about these different hair colors and the genes. They're trying to identify which genes are, are recessive, and those who are, I should say, very aggressive. The term I should say, because if you have a recessive gene, for example, if your father is having premature balding, say at the age of late 40s or early 50s, then that's a recessive gene. If you have had it, you will eventually get bald at that age too. So which of these genes are? But there, of course, like my lolo on my dad's side, I was not able to have a chance to be with my grandparents on my mom's side because they died earlier. But I remember my grandfather, even at the age of almost 90, he has to have a haircut every 2 weeks.
Ah, okay.
He's got very long hair. So, on that side, all the males in my dad's lineage, most of them, even though they reach the age of past 80, they still have a lot of hair.
Because that's in their genes.
Yeah, it's in their genes. Okay. So, you may not understand what genes are, but anyway, it says here, you inherit your genes from your parents. You receive one copy from a gene from its parent, okay? One from egg and one from the sperm. Once you receive a pair, your genes divide and copy themselves until your body has enough genes to fill your instruction manual. That means to say, your mom has 50%, your dad has also 50%. There are approximately 20 to 25,000 genes in your body. You could just imagine if this number of genes have a combination. The combinations are limitless. That means to say, any characteristic could, if you could trace your lineage back to Abraham or King Tut or whoever, these genes could still be found. Okay, let's come to the last structure, which are the chromosomes. These chromosomes look like threads which live in the nucleus or the center of the cells. One molecule of DNA and one protein make up one chromosome. Okay? So, these chromosomes are of different sizes, and proteins called histones allow them to pack small enough to fit in a nucleus. Chromosomes give your cells the instructions to make you into a unique person. So, looking at at how unique we are, mga kapaglaw, mga viewers, that's why I read an article, Kabalaong Randy, that you could find your exact pair based on computer programming, combining all these 25,000 genes with 23 pairs of chromosomes, that's 46. You will find your identical twin after 300 billion births. Right
like
now,
the one that really looks like you.
Yeah, that's according to the computer simulation when they combine the number of genes and the number of combinations from different persons. That means to say that right now we are 8 billion. How many more do we lack to become 300 billion births? Oh.
292
292 combinations.
Yeah.
Billion combinations.
Billion.
And you will be able to find your exact match. Which is mathematically possible, but actually I should say birth-wise it's impossible. How could we reach to several billion births? Like for example me, I'm in my late 60s. Next year I'll be 70. Now if I die next year, in the next couple of years, or in the early 90s, hopefully, or earlier than that, that's the end of my, I will, if I were born in 1955, because of the number of births at that time, finding my match probably will take how many millenniums? We'll never know. Okay, so Anyway, so here in this last part on chromosomes, we have two sex chromosomes, X and Y. You receive one from each parent to make a pair. So, if you're born a female, you have two X chromosomes. If you're born a male, you have X and Y chromosomes. Okay? So, in the conclusion here, the relationship and function of DNA, genes, and chromosomes. DNA, genes, and chromosomes work together to make you who you are. Chromosomes carry DNA in cells. DNA is responsible for building and maintaining your human structure. Genes are segments in your DNA which give you physical characteristics that make you unique. And together, your body has a complete instruction manual that tells you your cells how to behave. Okay. Quite hard to understand, viewers. I know this is a little bit murky to your thinking, but God is a God of order. So you were made in His image. We were all made in His image in a process that takes 9 months. Okay? So after 9 months, you are born into this world with both the characteristics of your father and your mother.
Siguro, Doc, we can just narrow it down and summarize it. As a human being, how many chromosomes bala do we have?
Okay, it says here we have 46.
So it's pair, di ba? Pare siya, Doc.
Yeah, 22 pairs. Or 44, yeah. 23, so
23.
46.
That's why it's 46.
Yeah. Now, if one is lacking, it says here, if there is an attached pair to another one, which is just 3, it's called a trisomy, or one less chromosome on a pair is called a monosomy.
Amo ni siya ang gakos sa mga abnormalities
Yes.
sa birth.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Just like, for example, ang ginatawag ta nga mongoloid,
Yeah.
no?
That's trisomy 21.
That's chromosomal defect.
It's a chromosomal defect. Now, of course, there are factors like, for example, late, the mom gives birth at a very late age. That's why for ladies, you're supposed to get pregnant before the age of 30. Because after the age of 30,
That's quite risky na.
the pregnancy is quite risky.
Pero ano ang relationship, Doc, sa functions ng DNA kag sa genes and the chromosome?
Well, in my limited thinking, they communicate together in order that this organism or this human being will be able to function according to the attributes that came from both the mother and the father. Like, for example, here, let's go back to our study. Together, they work to make you who you really are. Okay? Because chromosomes carry DNA in cells. DNA is responsible for building and maintaining your human structure. Okay? Human structure. Genes give you physical characteristics. And together with the chromosomes, they give your body a complete instruction manual that tells your cells how to behave. When we say how to behave, like for example, the aging process. The aging process has been of long debate because if you remember that clone sheep, Dolly.
Okay, Dali.
Yeah. Dolly died earlier because she developed arthritis, heart disease, and atherosclerosis or something like that. Because one thing scientists were not able to determine is how do cells age, like in the humans. How long do we age? So for me, again, this DNA, genes, and chromosomes, there's still areas there that have to be discovered by scientists that they would like to pinpoint how we age. Is it in the DNA? Is it in the genes or the chromosomes? Really don't know. Okay, so I believe these three makes who you really are, and tells you when it tells you how your cells behave. Like for example, if you have a cut, there are people who are called mongoloid, right? After they, I mean, what you call this? Are sensitive to cuts. They have this growth here after the cut. Mongoloids. There are also some people who are hemophiliac. Those who have
You meant the keloid former.
keloid former, yeah. And I think we mentioned earlier about certain royal families in Europe who have hemophilia. It's a blood disorder where when
Hindi siya mag-clot.
hindi siya maklat, the clotting factor is
So kung mapilas ka,
mapilas ka,
mag-bleed gid siya.
you could bleed to death.
Kailangan pa injectable na clotting factors para
Yeah,
mag-stop ang
there should
bleeding.
be some clotting factors. And then, of course, first is prevention. They're not supposed to fall or meet accidents, or they're not supposed to, when they undergo surgery, they have to be very, you know what?
Amo ni siya ang mga condition dok nga pwede mamana through genes.
Yes, through genes.
So since we're talking about kagina sa relationship sa chromosomes, DNA kag genes.
Genes, yeah.
So it encapsulate na lang ang chromosome, it's the one that carries the DNA.
Yes.
And then ang DNA yara naka-segment, no, naka-partition ang mga genes ta, which will give us the unique characteristics.
Yes.
So included sa unique characteristics sa atong genes is ang gintawag ta epigenetics. Meron natin gintawag nga epigenetics.
Oh yeah,
Doc.
actually, I have not listed it here, but I'll put that in the last topic. When we talk about epigenetics, kapag Randy, it's about the external effect of behavior and lifestyle to the genes. That means to say, your lifestyle
Yes.
could alter the function of your DNA, your genes, and your chromosomes. We will discuss that in the later
Yes,
part
yes.
of our. Okay, so here, I don't say you will understand this genes, DNA, and chromosomes, but who you are is half of your parents, your mother, and your father. So if ever there is a variation, according to the study, it's only 1%. So 99%, you are your father and your mother, and the 1% makes you a unique individual, which could be, I should say, totally different from your mother and your father.
So pamangkot Dok, ang kalawig sa aton kabuhid, longevity,
Yeah.
is it determined by our genetics?
Well, again, I wasn't able to indicate it here, but if you Google the word telomeres, okay, according to science, telomeres are like the end of shoelaces at the ends of the chromosomes. If it's long, that means to say you will live a longer life.
If it's short,
If it's short, you will live
shorter life.
Yeah, but the length of your telomeres may depend largely on your lifestyle.
Lifestyle. So it can go longer or shorter,
Yes.
depende.
Like for example, you light a firecracker. That what you call it, the pabilo.
Yeah.
That's your telomere.
Okay.
So
The longer
the
the longer the pabilo,
Yeah.
the longer nga mag
lupok ang
spark ang
Yeah.
mga
Yeah,
firecrackers.
but if it's short, so that's what they say as the combination of the telomeres. Actually, the study I had many years ago was about this, just for mentioning telomeres, of two groups of people in Sweden who on one winter, one group, since they were well off, they had good food. The other group, because they were poor, they had poor nutrition. When they all died, okay, and all of their records in the 1800s were recorded at the archives of Sweden. And when researchers looked into longevity and lifespan, they were very surprised. Those who were poor in winter lived longer by 6 years than those who ate well during winter. So they say the research could be categorized under epigenetics, external influences. So, like for example, what do you do with your body? Do you smoke? Do you drink? Do you exercise? Are you a vegetarian or pescatarian or what? So all of these things influence are what you call the epigenetic factors. Okay.
So is it?
Yeah.
This is just out of the topic, no? So since as we were discussing, I've been trying to, kumbaga, encapsulate everything. How genes affects longevity. So this is how I understood sa aton discussion, Doc.
Yeah.
Na ang genes predetermines our characteristics, physical characteristics, even behavioral, di ba? Because it carries all the genetic makeup from the DNA.
Yeah.
No? But then, as you were telling us, and to our mga kapaglaom subong, na it can all be influenced depende sa imong lifestyle, how you live your lifestyle, and also your environment. No?
Yeah. Okay, actually, since we have just some few minutes left,
Yes.
let's just go over this. According to this study, I did not put the footnotes here, that 40% of human life expectancy is inherited among generations. 40% of longevity. What happens to the 60%? Because when we say 40%, there's still a 60% that could influence your longevity. Okay. And according to this study, more than 50 genes reported in the literature of their contributions to the longevity of life. Now, when we say of the 25,000 genes that are there are 50 in longevity. It's a very small percentage. But I should say, even though the percentage is small, genes are quite stable. But again, with your comment on epigenetics, these genes could be affected by your lifestyle. So, again, going back to your choice, you could choose whether you want to remain healthy or not. Even though your genes determines your longevity, but your lifestyle is not congruent to your
Yes.
gen, then that could be affected.
So, I have a question, Doc.
Okay.
Is it possible ba na if I choose to live a healthy lifestyle, subong, although may ara ko mga na-acquire nga mga genes from, because in both sides of my mother and my father, they are all hypertensive.
Okay, yeah.
They have diabetes. They died with cardiac complications and stroke. My father died with stroke, had heart attack back then. So, if I choose to live a healthy lifestyle and then maintain nga naka-dormant lang ang mga genes sa hypertension, sa diabetes.
Yeah.
Is it possible nga if I have in the next generation, if I will have an offspring, I would also pass on a healthier gene sa ila?
Well,
And it will also cause na mas mangin healthier ang next generation if we keep doing that.
okay. Now,
Can it contribute to longevity as well?
yeah, because in the study in Loma Linda, there is a statement here by Dr. Lamont Murdoch, if I'm not mistaken. According to him, genes loads the gun, lifestyle pulls the trigger. That means to say, the genes are there, but if your lifestyle is okay, that gun will never
Shoot.
shoot because it's lifestyle that will pull the trigger.
Okay.
So you're right, those genes will remain dormant. But once you follow your dad's lifestyle, there's a possibility that
You will
those
have the same
genes
outcome.
will express themselves.
Yes.
It will express themselves. So here, according to this study, there are 3 influences to longevity. So we discussed genetics, and in the next discussion will be about nutrition. But here we have environment. Okay, in environment, nutrition is also there, and in lifestyle, nutrition is also there. Genetics is also there, because there are things here that we have to say demographic variables. What are demographic variables? For example, the availability of food, clean water, housing, living
Ang
conditions.
mga resources.
Yeah. Even education. Usually, people who are highly educated live longer lives.
And here's what I observed, Doc, no, na, especially for us Filipinos. This is our common statement na, wala na ta mahimo kay ang akon mama diabetic, so diabetic kid niya, and all that. Because people, ang mindset sa mga tao, because amo na ila mga kaliwat, and that will also be the outcome of their lifestyle.
Okay,
in the
yeah,
long
you're
run.
right. For example, arthritis. Your father had arthritis. Now, looking at his diet and his activity and some other things, what causes arthritis? Okay? So, looking at his lifestyle and looking at your lifestyle, like for example, if your father was a meat eater, the production of uric acid is very significant. So, uric acid goes to the joints of your, fingers and your knees here. So when the uric acid, becomes prominent there, what happens? It erodes the cartilages of your joints. Or even, that's why it is called the sickness of these rich people in England. Like the kings there, their problem is gout arthritis because of the diet. And in the mummies in Egypt, they found their evidence of these mummies, pharaohs, fondness of sweets, fondness of salt, fondness of fat. So their mummies were x-rayed, their bones analyzed, and then they found out that these pharaohs actually lived or ate foods that were deleterious to their life. So here, this demographic variables, like for example, access to medical care, very important. If you have no access to medical care, decreasing infant mortality, okay, and then we find that also here that we have nonagarians, those who live up to 90, centenarians to 100, and then we have the super centenarians, ages 110 and plus. Wow. Super centenarians. What do you want to be? A nonagenarian or in the 90s, or a centenarian in the... So that's why you're supposed to finish this series up to the end of May. So you yourself will determine your own lifestyle, your environment, your genes, and your nutrition, which are all contributory to longevity.
So in other words, Doc, na although genes will predetermine our characteristics as a human being, and also ang aging process naton, the metabolism and all that, but it will not truly determine the outcome. Diba? Because there are other factors. Meaning, hindi ta mapati sa mga ginahambal sa aton mga paryente na wala ka na mahimo kay amo na ang mga kakatabo sa aton pamilya. So that's expected on you. Meaning, may ara gid kita mahimo.
Yes. Because according to this study here, because of healthy health habits, older adults are less likely to develop age-related chronic diseases such as high blood pressure, heart disease, cancer, and diabetes than their same age peers. That means to say, actually in the summary of our study, the best thing there is to delay the onset of these diseases I mentioned, like hypertension, heart disease. At least in their study, they found out that up to the age of 93, these older adults were still healthy. They only developed these diseases after the age of 93. How would you like that? But there are still who are super centenarians who never had these diseases, even though they were way past their centenarian age. So again, as what we mentioned earlier, these studies are still the center of debate today, because it is possible for you to be old in age but to have a young heart, because your heart, as long as you exercise it, you could age 60, but your heart could be the age of 20 or 30. Okay, so here, siblings. Okay, usually if your sibling lives older, you also live older. People with centenarian parents are less likely at age 70 to have the age-related diseases that are common among older adults.
So these are just trend patterns sa familial nga
So
mga
familiar,
pattern.
that's why very important for us to really know your family. And if your father or your mother had lifestyle habits that were really, that were really against principles set in these topics, then probably it's time for you to correct. It's not yet too late
Yes.
to correct it, even though you have already gone of age. Because if we look at epigenetics and some other findings today are very exciting. Actually, kapag lang there's so many research here which we could keep on discussing and
Yeah.
discussing, and then we will never come to an end, because Solomon, the wisest man, said, to the making of books, there is no end.
Yes.
Oh,
And
yeah.
since we don't have enough time na
Oh,
mga kapaglaom, yes, we're already out of time. We would like to leave this reminder sa inyo, just what Doc Glenn just said. May ara pagkikita maobra, no?
Oh,
We
yes.
do not depend on our genes sa outcome sa aton lifestyle.
Yes.
But we can always do something about it. And ano ang aton maubra, amo na ang inyo dapat abangan mga kapaglaom, because next week, no,
Yes.
we are going to talk about longevity and nutrition.
Yes.
And sa last week, we are going to talk about longevity
Lifestyle.
and lifestyle. Please don't miss it mga kapaglaom, kay sugpon gid ini sa aton topic for the whole month of May about longevity. So always remember lang gid, no, that a healthy lifestyle is the cheapest way to provide yourself the best medical health care. So consider yourself taking yourself baby steps towards a healthy behavior change, because having a disease can lead to crisis and potential disaster. So once again mga kapaglaom, I'll see you to another episode of Quality Life, Your
Your
choice.